what's affair fog? Does it have anything to do with false reconciliation? What is a person to do to break this cycle?
Ah, such a good question.
I know there are some good questions today. I'm feeling it.
I love our viewers. Affair fog. Affair fog is when a betrayed spouse or a betraying spouse is currently in a relationship that is extramarital. So, for example, if a husband is in the stereotypical and an affair with his secretary, right? Affair fog is when he sees everything through rose-colored glasses. Is that person can give him everything that he's missing in his marriage, everything is great, everything is good. And then when he looks at his spouse, he just sees all the negatives, right? The dangerous part of affair fog is that oftentimes when you're actively involved in an affair, you're not doing real life. You're not parenting. You're not talking about bills. You're not figuring out how to get rid of your debt. So affair fog is such a confusing space for the betraying spouse because their needs feel like they're getting met with the affair partner. And they see their actual spouse, wife, or husband in such a negative way that it actually pulls them into the fog. It pulls them into this place, but I feel good here. This makes sense. Why don't I stay? And the hard part is it's just not reality. It doesn't last, right? That's why oftentimes when people marry their affair partners, those marriages don't last. So that's what affair fog is. And then the connection with false reconciliation is when you have a betraying spouse who recommits to his wife or husband or whoever, right? Is that you recommit. You go through disclosure, you go through all of these things, but it's not truly out of a place of repentance, right? With affair and recovery, oftentimes there's a process that sin enters our lives. And in that process, we start making small compromises. And in secret, we'll make a decision that doesn't match what's in reality, right? So with a closed door, you might go watch pornography, but in reality, like in the daily life of what you show everybody, it doesn't match what you would actually do behind closed doors, right? So when you have a betraying spouse, and what we would say with that is kind of just lacking integrity, and we want to help heal that. We want you to match. We want all of that to make sense for you. False reconciliation is when that partner is still trying to match. How they feel in secret matches how they feel sitting on the couch with their spouse. So false reconciliation, I think, is this really big process of it's not always super deceitful or intentional. So speaking to the betrayed spouses who might be in this spot that they feel like their spouse recommitted and it was a lie, your spouse is still trying to figure out how to match, to have integrity, to come to this place of honor that Christ calls him or her to be at. And so the question, I think, was how you break that cycle. I think the biggest part is really working in counseling. And I say that because we need accountability beyond our spouse so that there can be understanding about the affair fog of why did it feel so good to be in an affair? Why is it so hard to reconcile with a spouse when it doesn't always, it feels like the right decision, but it doesn't feel good? And working through that because we want to, the man behind the door or the wife behind the door needs to match the one sitting on the couch. And that's the process of healing that has to happen for a betraying spouse, right? I hope I said that right, Tori. I just want our viewers to know, like, there is so much kindness and so much love. And I will never give like, oh, it was a good thing that you cheated. I will never say that. But working on compassion for that person so that they can actually step into a place of looking at themselves so that they can start matching and then they can rebond with their spouse.
Yeah, no, that's so good. Alyssa, you are always just so wise and eloquent every time we get to talk. And it just amazes me how you just think on the fly, like all of these amazing things. But I think that was really encouraging answer to this question.